the internet misbehaves sometimes. Okay, if you take a topic like trade in oil between ECOWAS countries since 1975 or during the last 10 years. If you talk about, say, trade disputes between Mexico and the United States, that could be a topic, okay? Because you're talking about trade disputes and between United States and Mexico, or between United States and Canada, or you can say within the NAFTA region during the last 10 years, or even just since the NAFTA began, okay? And you're going to be, then you select 7 articles about trade disputes, right? Between these 3 countries, or you can say trade disputes within ECOWAS, okay? Because the ECOWAS region also will have their own trade disputes, okay? So now you read 7 articles, okay? 7 articles, and then you will then cite each of those articles and summarize what they are saying.
Okay.
Okay. You summarize what they're saying. Okay. So this is what you call the integrative summary. Now, before you write that integrative summary, you can see this article here, right? I cite it bibliographically. This is number 1. And then I summarize that article. Okay. And then I take another article and I summarize it. You see it?
Okay.
Okay. And so now, after you summarize each article, you tie all the articles together, all the 7 articles together. You know, what are they talking about? Like they're talking about trade dispute between United States, Canada, and Mexico. You're talking about trade disputes within ECOWAS. You can talk about what do you call it? Improved trade between, you know, the countries in ECOWAS and East Africa or what have you. Now, that is not the only thing that you can talk about. I'm not talking about you must talk about trade disputes. No, you can take other topics that we have talked about that interest you. All right?
Okay.
Okay. So we can talk about, say, the European Union and issues with the currency. Okay, because in the European Union now everybody's using the euro. And I traveled around the Mediterranean you know, this summer. And one thing I liked about the euro was that in the past, when I travel in Europe, when I go to France, I will have to change my money to francs. If I take money in francs, then if I go to Italy, I would have to go and change it to lira. Okay? The alternative would be for me to take my money in dollars, because dollar was the international currency, or still is the international currency. And then when I go from place to place, the exchange rates could be different, and what I could buy them could be different. Okay. So, and then I may have to change the dollar into the local currency. But now when I went to Europe, I was in Greece, and I took so many euros, and I said, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to spend all these euros before I'm done. Wait a minute. I'm going to be in Greece. Okay, I'm in Greece. I'm going to go to Italy. I'll still use the euros. Then when I went to Spain, I still use the euros. And when I was in Portugal, I still use those euros. So it facilitated trade between the various countries. Okay, so you can talk about you know, the advantages of the euro, and you know, you're going to read articles about the euro. You can even talk about the history of the European Union, you know, how it came about, why did it come about, but you read 7 articles on that issue that you pick. Then after you summarize each article, the way you can see the summaries, each one is cited and summarized, each one is cited and summarized. Then you write an integrative summary. What is the thing, what did you learn from reading those 7 articles that make them address the same topic? They must address the same topic, okay? You cannot write about the euro. You cannot take an article on the euro, then you take an article on trade dispute, then you take an article on ideological differences, and then you take an article on multinationals, no. Okay. If you want to talk about multinationals, you can say multinationals in Nigeria, not multinationals in Liberia. Okay. And read about things that people have said about multinational companies in Liberia. All right. Okay.
Yes.
So then you have to write an integrative summary that puts them all together. Okay. These 7 articles conclude that multinationals have not been good for Liberia because of so and so. This is what they bring. This is what they take. This is how they treat people. They treat people nicely or they treat people not nicely. The difference between multinationals and local companies and what have you. Then this integrative summary must come first, okay? In the sense that after you read all the articles and cite them, then when you write your integrative summary, you must put it first. And then you put the summaries of each article after it. And then at the end, you list the articles that you read. You can see here I listed 2 articles because this is just sample that I made up with 2 articles. All right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that is what you need to do.
Okay, sir.
All right. So do you have any other questions?
Maybe I think we should be concluding by next week, right?
Yes, we should be concluding this next week. We will not have any office hours Thursday next week. So what you should do now is make sure you do all the assignments and discussions for the remainder of the week, and then write your paper and be prepared to do the final exam.
Okay, so we are doing final exam. Okay.
Yes, there will be a final exam. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right.
All right. So okay. Any other thing, I will send you an email. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. If you have any other questions, send me an email and I'll respond.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for being patient.
Oh, no problem. I thank you for your patience and for your continued presence in the sessions. All right.
Okay, sir.
All right. Have a nice evening.
All right. You too.
Okay. Bye.